The testing phase requires organizations to complete various tests to ensure the accuracy of program code, the inclusion of expected functionality, and the interoperability of applications and other network components. Thorough testing is critical to ensuring systems meet organizational and end-user requirements. If organizations use effective project management techniques, they will complete test plans while developing applications prior to entering the testing phase. Weak project management techniques or demands to complete projects quickly may pressure organizations to develop test plans at the start of the testing phase. Test plans created during initial project phases enhance an organization's ability to create detailed tests. The use of detailed test plans significantly increases the likelihood that testers will identify weaknesses before products are implemented. Testing groups are comprised of technicians and end users who are responsible for assembling and loading representative test data into a testing environment. The groups typically perform tests in stages either from a top-down or bottom-up approach. A bottom-up approach tests smaller components first and progressively adds and tests additional components and systems. A top-down approach first tests major components and connections and progressively tests smaller components and connections. The progression and definitions of completed tests vary between organizations. Bottom-up tests often begin with functional, requirements-based testing. Functional tests should ensure that expected functional, security, and internal control features are present and operating properly. Testers then complete integration and end-to-end testing to ensure application and system components interact properly. Users then conduct acceptance tests to ensure systems meet defined acceptance criteria. Testers often identify program defects or weaknesses during the testing process. Procedures should be in place to ensure programmers correct defects quickly and document all corrections or modifications. Correcting problems quickly increases testing efficiencies by decreasing testers' downtime. It also ensures a programmer does not waste time trying to debug a portion of a program without defects that is not working because another programmer has not debugged a defective linked routine. Documenting corrections and modifications is necessary to maintain the integrity of the overall program documentation. Organizations should review and complete user, operator, and maintenance manuals during the testing phase. Additionally, they should finalize conversion, implementation, and training plans. Primary tests include, end users perform acceptance tests to assess the overall functionality and interoperability of an application. End users and system technicians perform end-to-end tests to assess the interoperability of an application and other system components such as databases, hardware, software, or communication devices. End users perform functional tests to assess the operability of a program against predefined requirements. Functional tests include black box tests, which assess the operational functionality of a feature against predefined expectations, or white box tests, which assess the functionality of a feature's code. End users and system technicians perform integration tests to assess the interfaces of integrated software components. End users perform parallel tests to compare the output of a new application against a similar, often the original, application. End users retest applications to assess functionality after programmers make code changes to previously tested applications. Technicians perform stress tests to assess the maximum limits of an application. Programmers perform string tests to assess the functionality of related code modules. Technicians perform system tests to assess the functionality of an entire system. Programmers perform unit tests to assess the functionality of small modules of code.